Hey, what's up, boys? First of all, I gotta say, I'm listening to Deadwood Sandstorm, Mori audio, so I might be a little scuffed. And I'm also fucking dying because it's so fucking hot in Germany, dude. Someone fucking save me, dude. What the fuck is this shit, man? I'm literally no counterplay. This like fucking nerf the weather, man. What's going on? Weird champ at the world. Weird champ at climate change. Alright, so this is gonna be another ADC Laning guide, and this time we're gonna analyze the Ezreal versus Draven matchup. We are obviously playing Ezreal, and I will show you 3 games against Draven on Ezreal with 3 different support matchups, and I will talk about how each matchup influences my gameplay. This video will either contain all 3 matchups, or I will make a part 2 to cover all matchups, just saying. Alright, as I already told you in my other videos, the support matchup is much more important and game plan defining than the AD matchup, but Draven is an exception to this because no other champion in the bot lane has a bigger impact on the matchup than Draven himself, not even supports. This is because Draven essentially turns every lane into an all-in lane. He is the brother of Darius, lore-wise, and he has a very similar playstyle to him. Both Draven and Darius will try to turn every fight and every single small trade into an all-in, because it's their win condition and essentially their only viable playstyle. Draven damage, especially early game, is not balanced compared to other ADCs, but in exchange he's very easy to gank, he has no wave clear, he has no AoE damage, and he has absolutely zero utility. The only thing he has is raw physical damage. And he also gets outscaled and outranged by most ADCs, such as Ezreal. Don't get me wrong though, a 6-item Draven who is building crit will in theory obviously be stronger than a 6-item Ezreal, but he usually won't be more useful. This is because he will never be in range of Ezreal and will generally just die much easier than Ezreal in teamfights, and usually deal less damage overall because of that. Another weakness of Draven, which is not to underestimate, is that most Draven players are dogs with Turbo in their nicknames, who will int or AFK the game after dying just once in lane. Needless to say, this is a very big disadvantage. And another characteristic of Draven is that he will 99% of the times always push the lane, since his passive will give him extra gold as duration stacks if he keeps it up for 7 axes in a row. Ezreal on the other hand is a very versatile ADC that can essentially poke, trade and all-in, all depending on the support matchup. Draven is much more one-dimensional, as already mentioned, since he can pretty much only all-in. Alright, getting into actual gameplay, which will make it easier to grasp the characteristics of both ADCs. Our first matchup is Leona Ezreal against Nautilus Draven, and I really like Leona supports, by the way. Very useful for setting up your W and ultimate for some nice burst. This guy in particular is also a pretty good player. I played with him a couple times, and he only plays Leona so he knows what he's doing mostly. Alright, back to the matchup. Basically 2 melee supports plus Draven is gonna be an all-in fiesta, you already know. Pre-level 6 we have poke advantage because of me, and I can also negate Nautilus Q engage very easily with my arcane shift. While Draven, he can just die much more easily if he gets engaged on by Leona. Obviously he can potentially cancel Leona engage with his E, but it's more difficult to time and execute. However, Nautilus and Draven's all-in potential, especially early game, are a little stronger. At level 6 me and Leona can one-shot Draven or Nautilus easily, because the Leona stun combo combined with the burst combo of Ezreal is kinda nutty. So it's basically a skill matchup overall, and this is a rare occurrence where there is an actual possibility to win the lane against Draven. You can obviously win the lane with the help of the jungle, but that doesn't really count. We are talking 2v2 here. Okay, so it's not impossible to win pre-6, and it's actually in our favor after level 6. And one quick thing to the summoner's choice here. I went Exhaust here because he will heal for like 1 Draven attack, while Exhaust is just much more beneficial against Draven most of the times, since it first of all is very efficient against all-ins in general, and second of all it blocks way more damage than just your 100 health heal. Especially mid and late game, you'll realize the difference. Okay, so we don't have Alicia, so we get the push. And right off the bat, I'm just trolling, I get hooked, I blow exhaust for nothing. This is very bad. We really fucked up level 2 here. My Leona went to ward because she waited level 2 nearly gank, which caught me by surprise honestly. But you have to always watch your support movement, just a newbie mistake really. I blocked Nautilus engage here because we are just too deep in the lane, and thank god Leona missed her E on Draven. Or it would have been a very ugly trade, or she would have probably died honestly, one of the two. Like she would have been borderline in tower range. Alright, I go ward at 240, since most junglers will look for ganks at around this time. Maybe a little later, but ward timing is good either way, because I don't miss minions and I don't miss pressure. We get engaged by Nautilus, and he plays it very fucking well. He cancels his auto mid animation and hooked me instead. This guy is fucking faker, that was very well played, and his first hook on me was very good too. I was also greedy to not use my cookie before, but we get the 1-for-1 either way. And despite Draven getting first blood, it's actually a decent trade since the wave is pushing towards me. And Leona right here does the fast recall strat to give me solo XP. As you can see, I get all these minions, while Draven missed most of his minions since they died to his own when they were pushing. This is why the 1-for-1 trade really wasn't that bad. Most people won't realize that it wasn't actually that bad and think it's just bad because Draven got the kill, but it's actually not that bad. You gotta understand these concepts. And yeah, I just casually miss every single CS because I'm just not talented enough. And we slow push to build a big minion wave. This will protect us from ganks and from potential all-ins. A minion wave is especially useful against hook champions, such as Nautilus or Thresh, to block the hooks, to block the skill shots. And it's also very useful against Nidalee because she usually has to land a spear to be relevant while ganking. And yeah, nothing really happening here. We shove it in, I reset and go for a pickaxe for maximum all-in potential. Sheen is better for trading and poking, but pickaxe is more valuable against all-ins and also just more reliable. Right here, this is actually an okay try from Leona, but as you can see, Draven damage and DPS is just too insane. And also, I wasn't really looking to fight you to begin with. I knew we are weaker, and there was a big wave crashing as well. I played the fight okay though. Maybe I could have got 2 or 3 more orders off on Nautilus and threatened a kill. But either way, Leona just got destroyed. And shortly after, I get fucked by Nidalee, but I managed to get the Nautilus shut down at least. We get back to lane, and we know Draven just reset. So we just shoved the wave ASAP, and we managed to get a plating. We die again to a pretty good Nidalee gank, and we just lose first tower. In exchange, we managed to kill them all. This was very well played from Leona Chan right there. And it's kinda unfortunate that laning phase is over right when we hit a winning point in the matchup, but it's still okay. As long as you don't get completely destroyed, you should be good to go since you all scaled Draven hard in the mid game. Also, I just got a lot of gold, and I am definitely more useful offlane than Draven. You will understand later why. One thing to note though, it's actually surprising that they took the tower so fast, because usually Draven lanes and kill lanes in general will let the tower live so they can spam kill you. But these guys actually knew that they would lose after level 6, I assume, and that's low-key impressive. Okay, it obviously kinda sucks to have Draven mid lane since he's short range and he has no wave clear. So they make the right call here by sending him top lane. One problem with this is that Draven can't lane by himself. He needs Nautilus to babysit his ass, or else he will get run down by Tryndamere or Gragas, so he will be sharing a lot of EXP. Additionally, the bot lane duo will always lose against a jungle top duo if it's more or less even. In this situation, we are actually in favor, so they can't afford to pressure top too hard, or they will just die to Gragas and Tryndamere. Me on the other hand, I can just lane against anyone I want, even against Zed, because I have exhaust. So, as I already said, it's not that bad and not that dramatic that we lost tower. And that's also why you usually want to keep the tower if you are playing Draven. We solo kill Shen right here. I played it pretty bad, but we still got both the summoners, so it's fine. And we are obviously building Iceborne this game, there's no debate, not even close. Shen, Draven and Zed, they all deal physical damage only, and Iceborne is a very good item on Ezreal. We still keep going bot lane because Veigar is a pretty good mid laner, he has good control. And yeah, nothing really happening. But watch this shit, boys, let's keep it real here. I don't know what the fuck this is. Literally gifting me the kill. Every Zed player below Grandmaster is just very cringe to watch. No flame. And what is this dude? Like, I'm level 11, Draven is level 9. As I said, he can't solo lane, he has to share EXP. Our top lane and jungle duo are just too strong. They're gonna lose 2v2 every single time. This is just very sad for the enemy team, honestly. As you can see, exhaust is very useful here, just a good summoner for duels in general. Nidalee red smited me, so I dealt pretty much no damage, but Zed hard outplays me here. And then there's really not much happening really, game is pretty much over. They make a desperate Baron call, and they pretty much have to, they're just getting hard on macro and champion gap. I kinda pop off and yeah, man, Draven is just completely useless compared to me. Like, this is actually pretty funny. Nobody on the enemy team can kill me except I eat max range Nidalee spear or some crazy dumb shit. But basically 4 out of 5 people on my team can destroy Draven. Gragas can definitely solo him, Tryndamere too. Veigar can at least zone him with the potential to one-shot him. And Leona, dude, man, Leona is so OP. I won't be surprised if she solo boloed Draven as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, boys. As I already said in the beginning, I was either gonna cover all 3 matchups in this video, or I was gonna make a part 2. And since this video is already pretty long, I decided to just cover 1 matchup. So if you think this video was helpful, please let me know. Because if it was, I'm gonna release part 2, and if it wasn't, I'm obviously not gonna do it because I don't want to release dogshit content. It is what it is. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Love you guys, no cap of pride, and I'll see you guys around.